Eala falls to Colombia's Osorio in two-set stunner to exit Philippine Women's Open. Manila, Philippines. The thing about dreams is they will eventually come to an end. Eala bowed out of the Philippine Women's Open after absorbing a huge upset at the hands of Colombia's Camila Osorio, 4-6, 4-6, in their quarterfinal matchup Thursday evening at the Rizal Memorial Coliseum in Manila. The second-seeded Filipina, ranked 49th in the world, suffered the heartbreaking defeat against the world number 84 tennister, who grabbed the victory in an hour and 29 minutes. The two tennisters traded games in the first set, with the home bet holding a 3-2 lead after she held her serve. But her opponent won the next three games to move to within the first set, 5-3, before Eala powered in a great return that kept her in it. However, Osorio was able to hold her serve in the 10th game to grab the first set. The two had a tighter back and forth in the second set as they traded games one after another. But ultimately, the Colombian athlete won the 9th and 10th games, as the fans' chants could not keep Eala from suffering the defeat. This thus ended the stint of Eala in the tournament, which was the first WTA 125 tourney held in the country. She earlier described having a tournament at home a dream, and when the Philippine Women's Open was officially announced, she said it was a huge step for tennis in the country. Sayang, hindi pumesa sa level. Pero ang importante, nandito ako sa Manila, sa Pilipinas at nandito ang WTA, Eala said in a post-match interview. Enjoy the rest of the week. I hope you all guys get inspired and learn to love tennis. I love tennis so much, so I'm lucky to be able to share this experience and journey with all of you. Maraming salamat. Osorio, for her part, will now be taking on Solana Sierra in the semifinals. Eala will set her sights on the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open, which will commence early next month. The night Manila stood still, Eala's heartbreaking exit at the Philippine Women's Open. For many Filipinos, tennis has always been a sport watched from a distance, admired from afar, cheered only during the rare, impressive moments on the global stage. But on a warm Manila evening at the Rizal Memorial Tennis Center, tennis felt close. Almost personal. Almost familiar. Almost like a deeply cherished dream unfolding right before thousands of eager eyes. At the center of this palpable anticipation was Alexandra Eala, every Filipino's pride, hope, and tennis poster child. The 20-year-old had carried not only her racket into battle, but the collective dreams of a nation craving its own tennis milestone. After all, this was her home soil. Her home crowd. A moment many athletes spend a lifetime chasing. And tonight, she stood just one step away from etching her name forever in the annals of Philippine sports history. But dreams, as thrilling and intoxicating as they can be, sometimes come with a sting. The underdog who refused to back down. Facing Eala across the net was Colombia's Camila Osorio, a formidable opponent ranked outside the top flight at world number 84 but seasoned in the art of competition. Osorio entered the quarterfinals with steady composure, leveraging her experience and tactical smarts to grind her way through tough exchanges. While many fans were rooting for the local favorite, Osorio carried quietly resolute confidence, aware that in high-stakes matches, belief is half the battle. The scoreboard would ultimately tell the story, 6-4, 6-4 in favor of Osorio. A straight sets victory, yes, but one soaked with tension, grit, and narrow margins where a handful of points could have changed everything. A crowd's roar, a player's heart. From the very first serve, the atmosphere buzzed with energy. Manila's crowd wasn't just watching a tennis match, they were living it. Every exchange, every rally, every thunderous serve was met with collective gasps, chants, and an unwavering belief that their homegrown star could rise above the odds. The first set was a roller coaster, early holds, exchanged breaks, and moments where momentum seemed to teeter on a knife edge. Eala fought with all her arsenal, powerful baseline strokes, quick net approaches, and athletic defense, trying to wrest control from her opponent. But Osorio, unfazed by the chants and the pressure, seized a vital break at a critical juncture and held firm to clinch the opening frame. The second set read like a mental tug-of-war. Each game was contested with intensity, neither giving ground easily. Yet in the ninth game, with the score locked tight, Osorio found another crucial break. As she served for the match, the Filipino cheers swelled, a tidal wave of emotion urging Eala on. But Osorio stayed composed, closing out the match that sent shockwaves through the arena. More than a loss, a lesson in fortitude. For many, a semi-final would have been a perfectly successful night. But for Eala, performing on home soil in the first WTA 125 tournament held in the Philippines, anything less than a title felt like unfinished business. In her post-match words, tinged with the melancholic honesty of someone who gave their all, she reflected on the dream of playing at home and how much it meant to her. "Sayang hindi pumesa sa level," she said, roughly. "It's a pity I couldn't take it to that level." And yet she found gratitude too, for playing in Manila, for seeing the WTA Tour come to the Philippines, for inspiring others to pick up a racket and fall in love with tennis. That's the beauty of high-level sport. Sometimes a loss opens up a bigger conversation. It becomes not just about the outcome, but the journey, the crowd that believed, the young athlete who gave everything under immense pressure, and the larger legacy she's building. A broader canvas, the rise of Eala and the Philippine Women's Open. This match was not an isolated moment. It was part of a broader narrative, one that's been years in the making. Alex Eala's rise has been one of the brightest stories in Southeast Asian sports. She broke into the WTA top 50, became the first Filipina to reach major tournament milestones, and carried the Philippines onto stages it had rarely appeared on before. And the Philippine Women's Open itself, a WTA 125 event, marked the country's debut on a professional women's tennis tour calendar, hosted at the iconic Rizal Memorial Tennis Center. This tournament wasn't just a stop on the schedule. It was a declaration that the Philippines is ready to be part of the elite global tennis conversation. Eala's journey in this event, with dominant early wins, including a convincing round of 16 victory against Himino Sakitsum, was a testament to her growth, resilience, and competitive fire. The unsung hero in the opposite corner. While much of the spotlight naturally fell on Eala, Camila Osorio deserves credit for a mature, powerful performance. She played with grit and strategy, capitalizing on key moments and refusing to be overwhelmed by a fervent home crowd. In this world of elite tennis, it's often the player who seizes the crucial break at the most opportune time who walks away victorious, and that's exactly what Osorio did. Now, Osorio advances to the semifinals to face rising star Solana Sierra, poised to continue her own impressive run in the tournament. Beyond scorelines, what this all means. Some might see this as merely a loss, a defeat on a scoreboard. But that interpretation barely scratches the surface. For Filipinos, this match was a shared experience. A collective pulse that quickened with every rally.